Etude number 5 is in a difficult key because you have a lot of fifth position notes. You want to make sure you're getting all the way up fifth position to get those notes in tune. If you look at the last bar, you'll see a G flat major arpeggio. It works pretty well to put the B flat on the valve, flat 3, like this. Little tricks like that can help you stay in tune out in fifth position. Of course, this does present the problem of making sure that valve B flat is in tune. On the other hand, it's perfectly fine to come to first. You just have to make sure you're really moving efficiently. If you can't get the valve in tune, just come to first, because the tuning is much more important than any efficiency of slide motion in that case. On the second line, you have a lot of slur 2 notes. And I like to phrase that so that I feel like the second note is leading from the first, so that we're moving to that second note. So we get this sense of, urgency going through that phrase a little bit. I also kind of like to stylize the 16ths just a little bit. Now you can't do too much of this, but here's what I mean. Here's the first set. So I'm kind of lingering at the beginning of that set of 16ths and then moving through them. You can do something similar on the second line. That's actually a nice moment because you have several things you can do in this spot. You can stylize those 16ths, kind of linger at the beginning, and then you've got the sets of 2 right after that, so you can phrase them in that way. And then you're finishing this phrase with 2 16th note grace notes. And the way that I do those is to double tongue them very lightly so that they sound different than the 16ths that came before, because they are grace notes and not just 16th notes. So I'm going to play them a little faster and double tongue those very gently, and I'm going to play them right before the beat so that the E flat actually sounds like it's on the beat as written. So I'll do this phrase again because it's such kind of a nice moment. Etude number 5 is marked sempre legato, which means always connected and smooth. So play with a beautiful tone and musicality and a nice sense of phrasing, and take advantage of the natural slurs where they exist. Of course, this is where 2 adjoining notes are slurred, but since they go over a partial, there's no need to use your tongue. This can be tricky, but I really like this technique. A really good example would be the very first 3 notes. The second to the third note is slurred, and this is octave D flats, and this works as a natural slur. It's actually quite nice if you don't tongue the upper D flat. If you move your air through that note change, you get a very nice natural slur and a sense of phrasing as well. You have 2 moments in this etude where you have grace notes. The grace notes should sound faster than their neighbors so that they don't sound like written sixteenths, but they also need to sound graceful. So what I do is double tongue them very gently. So here's the first one with the pickup note. So I'm just going da 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 like that. Here's the second one so you can hear it, and I'll add in the pickup note so they sound the same. So you want to play them pretty quick right before the beat and legato. Remember, the whole thing should be sempre legato. Incidentally, in these two moments, the first set of grace notes is attached to a dotted quarter, and the second one, the one at the end, is attached to a dotted half. So be sure that you're holding the second one, the A flat dotted half, hold that much longer than the first one. They kind of feel like they should be the same because of those grace notes, but they're not. So please make a difference there. You do have another marking. It's affrettando e crescendo. This means pressing forward. So in this spot, you don't want to keep it metronomic. You want it to be urgent. You want it to build in intensity. So move all the way up to that high G flat. Also, in the midst of this section, there are a couple moments where I'm going to use a few alternate positions. For example, I like this B flat on the valve, so it would be valve flat third position. Then you can do it again on the second one. Then on the third one, I'm going to put the F out in 6. So altogether, this set of sixteenths.